So we see them everywhere and we're always impressed by them, but how do people actually become an overnight success? Welcome back to Career Ending Opportunities, where each week we plot a path and a course to personal and financial fulfillment, whether it's changing jobs, changing career, starting a new business, all are welcome. So given the quality of my videos, you may be forgiven for not believing me when I say that I love Peter Mckinnon and Casey Niestat and the work that they do. Links below in the description. If you haven't heard of them or haven't seen them, you're missing out. They create awesome cinematic videos. Everything they do is of top quality and it's amusing and engaging. Both of these two are at the top of their game, and frankly they're towards the top, if not the top couple on YouTube. Peter Mckinnon went from 0 subscribers to 1 million in around 12 months, which is bonkers. So how do you go from 0 to overnight success? But first, I got a new toy I want to show you. Let's go get some breakfast, give this guy a ride. So if you only focus on the numbers, Peter Mckinnon, 0 to 1 million in 12 months, it's easy to think that he is an overnight success. But like most overnight successes, he is in fact a success 10 plus years in the making. Casey Niestat started making videos for a sculptor, then he made videos on Apple and their terrible repairability on the iPod line. He then made a video about the hazards of cycling in the New York bike lanes, and I'll link to that below because it's brilliant. But none of these guys were handed their success. Casey Niestat from 100,000 subscribers in 2013 to over 11 million today in 2019. They weren't handed that success, they worked for it. They worked their asses off to get to where they wanted to be. So with that in mind, what have you done recently to become an overnight success? How are you building out your skills, and ultimately what dream are you trying to chase down? What are your goals? If you're working on something new or you've recently upped your game, trying to learn something or develop new skills, leave a comment below and let me know what you're working on. Changing careers and starting your own business is tough, and it takes time and commitment and energy. One of the biggest problems that we have to deal with whilst changing career or jobs or starting our own business is the endurance aspect. It's not often talked about. People talk about you got to start, you got to get going. But it's tough to keep going. Once you make that initial step and you say, right, this is what I'm going to do, holding yourself accountable and suffering through the endurance can be challenging. As always, I'd suggest that you write down your goals and share them with me and make sure that you have a plan and a timeline for what you want to work to, because it's very easy to do things tomorrow, and tomorrow, as we know, never actually arrives. So to sum up, becoming an overnight success is not really a thing for most people. In order to become an overnight success, you have to work for it. You got to put in the time and the effort, and you have to do projects and reach out of your comfort zone to expand your skills and start to get recognized for it. Because once one person recognizes you for it, they'll get more work, and then 2 and 3, and it starts to expand exponentially, which then means that you can be introduced to someone as a full business, a successful business, to someone that's never heard of you, and they will assume you are an overnight success. If you go from being a single web designer or programmer or photographer, and then the first time someone meets you is when you've got 1,000 clients and you're making $100,000 a year, whatever your goals are, like, you will seem like an overnight success to them, especially if you changed career and said, you know what, that traditional path I was on of stay here till I retire, it's not for me. I'm going to make a success of myself in other industries. When it comes to changing career, it's all about endurance. Today I'm flying back to the US, and I haven't seen my family in 28 days because of work, because of chasing this dream of changing career and getting the path all nicely lined up. And it's hard. It's hard. There's no other way to think about it. 28 days without seeing a 4-year-old daughter is tough. But during this time I've taken steps to go further down the path of changing career to developing. I've taken steps to become a better programmer and become more employable by picking up freelance work and studying some new things. I'm working with Unreal Game Engine at the moment to maybe make some games for the rest of the year. And everything I've done over this past month has been to accelerate the rate of change. It's been looking at new ways to improve the content that I provide for you and looking at ways to make me better at the job that I want at the end of this. Because endurance can be a challenge, it's great to have a group around you to help drive you forward. That's why I have Patreon set up to try and build a community of like-minded people that are changing career, changing jobs, or starting their own business. You can find it over at patreon.com/CEOs. I think I'm going to stick with that URL despite complaining about it every week. If you've got this far through the video and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. A like would be appreciated as well. And I will speak to you again next week from New York, where we talk all about freelancing, how to get started, where to find work, and the importance of running it as a small business. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.